Hello, fellow YouTubers, and today we are gonna do we are gonna make my very first movie review. Excuse me, and why not start out with the original classic itself, the 1954 Godzilla film, and yeah, so let's review the 1954 Godzilla film. Now, this is possibly one of my favorite films of the this is actually one of my favorite films of all time, and also maybe my favorite film of the whole franchise. Because unlike the Godzilla film, the other Godzilla films, excuse me, this one really takes itself seriously. It's a very grim and dark and very scary, I guess you can say very scary movie, but it's very grim. It's very bloody, and it's very devastating and disturbing a little bit too. It's just, this film, it treats it kind of like a real thing. It really treats like if a monster went to Tokyo and destroyed it, this would pretty much kind of look like it. So it really treats it like a real thing. And it definitely shows that throughout the movie, because it shows, like, throughout, the events that unfold in the movie, after the devastation of Godzilla as he raids through the city, you see, walls of fire, you see destruction of the buildings, you see people running away, you see, sometimes you even see, I am so sorry guys, I've been having a little, cough a little bit, but, you even sometimes see people laying down on the ground dead, and it's just very, very devastating and sad. And also, what's also kind of disturbing in my opinion is that I remember one scene in the movie where you see a choir of girls, they're singing in sad desperation, and that's like, it's very sad, it's very sad. And also, now, some people say these days, the original is always the best. This film does prove that the original is the best, because out of all the Godzilla films I've mostly seen, I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen most of them, and out of all the most I've seen, this one is definitely the best, in my opinion, because it really shows all the terrifying destruction and the fury that it shows, and Godzilla can be a force to be reckoned with. Now, let's start out with the actual movie review itself. So the movie, what you really need to know about the movie review itself is that it kind of starts out, it starts out about this vessel, and it's somehow mysteriously sunk and it's blown up from this really devastating accident, and this group of investigators go to, I forgot, it was some Japanese island, and they talk to the local people there, and they say that the one that caused the sunken vessel is the sea dragon that they have told about tales and the ancient sacrificings of native women to this creature. And, you see that throughout about maybe 30 minutes of the film, until finally, throughout the film, you see this creature, and he, walks up to Tokyo, and he completely destroys the place. When I mean destroy, he destroys. And, of course, the military, with their best efforts, they tried to destroy the creature with tanks and airplanes and everything you can pretty much have in the military at the time to throw at this creature, and that just really didn't do nothing. And since this creature, nothing can stop him in his wake, excuse me, nothing can stop him in his wake, that brings all the destruction and walls of fire. And you also see, for a moment in the movie, I remember seeing, you even see ships at the harbor while Godzilla's walking in. You see, ships floating towards land and crashing into the harbor, and that was like insane. And also, he destroys bridges. He even destroys a train that's coming in at the time in Tokyo. And you also see all the destruction, and it's really great. So shortly after the horrifying events in Tokyo, Godzilla, you see him walking back. He just walks back in the ocean, and after the aftermath of Godzilla, you just see destruction everywhere, guys. Like you see people in little med beds. If I think it's what I'm saying is little med beds, and they're like all dead and stuff. And you see people, thousands of them injured, and then you see the buildings are like destroyed, and you see, it just looks complete chaos, and just really looks very sad. And you see all the pandemonium and this, destruction this creature this can create, and you can show about all how much these people suffered. Because if you didn't know, the people who made this film at the time were the people they were the people who kind of suffered the same the same kind of event, because back in World War II, America, we released a atomic bomb at the time, and that was new, and it landed on Hiroshima, and it just completely destroyed the place and everything like that. And it showed how bad the situation was. And the people who made this film, they really just treated it like a real disaster, as I said before. And you can see how bad this event is in the movie, and see how bad it is. And you can see how it kind of relates to the Hiroshima bombings. So let's just move on. And after the aftermath, they realize the U.S. military, they talk and stuff, and finally, their efforts to try to destroy Godzilla, what they do is they build these electric fences, and they like guard the city pretty much. They're like big power towers. Excuse me. They pretty much guard the city. They're like big power towers, I guess you could say it like that. And so after they do that, then the next scene in the movies where Godzilla, he walks up to, I forgot, I think it was Okashima. I think, if I'm pronouncing it right, guys, it was something like that. But he walks up to Okashima, and he sees the electric fences, and he just walks through them like they're nothing. It was complete awesomeness, in my opinion. It was just wow. He goes through the electric fences like they're nothing, and of course he destroys the city, and finally it happens again, and he of course at the end walks away, and he actually goes down back to his location and rests. So finally, this doctor, I forgot. I forgot about the person who played the doctor. Leave it in the comments if you don't mind. But this doctor, so he has throughout the movie you see him seeing Godzilla, and he's like, wait, should we kill God? Because the U.S. military wants to kill Godzilla. And he actually doesn't want to kill Godzilla. He wants to study how he can survive all this radiation. You can see why he does that. But at the end of the film, he creates this device called the Oxygen Destroyer. And what it does is a little device where it kind of like, it takes all the oxygen away from the surrounding area, and blows it up. It kind of like dissolves all the oxygen away from the area. And so they use this device, and they find where Godzilla is, and the doctor and this other sub-diver, they go to his location, and they activate the Oxygen Destroyer, and the doctor actually sacrifices himself, and at the end, Godzilla himself, he actually completely dissolves the bone, and Godzilla's dead. And so there you go. That was pretty much the whole entire movie. Now, what did I think of the movie? I thought it was pretty good. I liked how the script was well done. I mean, I liked how the cheesy monster effects and the tanks. I mean, you can definitely tell throughout the film there's a lot of cheesy effects. Now, today's standards, you may say to yourself that this is not scary. I mean, but back then, people had never seen this before, and they actually thought this stuff was scary, and I can definitely understand why they did that or would do that. So, but what's also really great about this film is that it definitely is very cheesy. It does have very cheesy effects. That was also gives it a little more charm to this film. Like, you see the planes that shoot at Godzilla, and they look like toy planes, and the tanks, when they shoot at Godzilla, they actually look like toy tanks, and all the toy cars and the model buildings. They just really look like cheesy effects. Excuse me. They all look like cheesy effects. Now it gives it a little more charm and stuff like that. Now now what are the other flaws? Now what other things about this film was that there's the monster himself actually looks. I actually thought the monster itself throughout the film I thought was really awesome. As I said before, I like how he's designed. I mean, I like how he looks, really, personally. And I know he's a guy in a rubber suit, and he's, what he's doing is that all he does throughout the film, if you put in retrospect, if I'm saying it right, retrospect, that is, it's just a guy in a rubber suit smashing around buildings. But what makes this so believable is that they treat this film like a real event, and also they also throughout the film they use low camera angles and very wide range camera angles, and they make it look like that there's actually a monster and he's actually 50 feet tall, and plus all the destruction and the models and also the blood and the grim, it makes it real realistic. It also, it makes it make what the heck was that, guys? I'm sorry. It makes it more realistic, and I really think that that this film is a really great film. You should definitely check it out. Other things I liked about this film was the plot, and as I said before, the script details. They were well done. Like, I could, watching this film, I could definitely tell that the script and plot was real done. Also, what I really liked about this film was that, I know that the guy in the rubber suit and the cheesy effects and stuff, I know they're all cheesy effects, but they also give a really good charm about this film, and it's something with these kind of films that makes it more great, and this is like the key value, and that's what makes it so great. What also I like about this film is that also I like how they made all the destruction more realistic too. Like when you just destroy a model building, they didn't just destroy it. They actually added fire and detail to it, and that's what made it more realistic too. Excuse me. And that was really what I liked about this film too. What else can I say about this film? Well, I guess I also like sorry about that little bump right there. I accidentally bumped the mic. But what also I really liked about this Godzilla film was that it was really also the acting was pretty good in my opinion. I also liked all the destruction, as I said before, and and plus what also I really liked is that all these cheesy effects and especially all the more realism of the film. I forgot to talk about that. The realism of this film is very, they treat this like a real event, as I said many times before. It's just a very real event, and I like how they treat it like a real event, and all the, everything like that, how they treat it like a real event. But overall, this is a very great monster flick, and one of the best, in my opinion, of monster films and ever. One of the best monster films ever, and definitely go see it if you haven't checked it out. It's just a really great monster film, and I'm trying to really think of other things to really say about this film. I liked how Godzilla. I liked Godzilla, of course, in this film. I mean, I liked how he looked, and I liked how I liked so also liked how he ran through the city and just destroyed everything. It just looked awesome to me, and that was really cool about this. How Godzilla just did all that destruction and stuff. So overall, I really think this is a great monster flick, and you should really check it out. As a monster, it's just a great American classic, and really check it out. Check it out. As I said, you can. This movie. Also, I found out that this movie was released in American version was released called Godzilla King of the Monsters. That was released, and that film was alright. I mean, I didn't really think the film was bad, but I also didn't think the film was good. It was pretty much just like the original Japanese classic, but it was the only things they really added was this guy called Steve Martin, and he's like a reporter, and he just narrates through like all the things that are going on throughout the film. That film was alright. I mean, it was not really anything special, but it was alright. What else do I have to say, really? What also, I forgot to mention is that, the original name for, this film was actually Gojira. Gojira. Yeah, Gojira, my bad. I forgot to mention that, I was supposed to mention it, but, the original name for this film was Gojira. It was, the name came from this really tough guy at the studio, and they got the name from it. But Americans, they translated over to Godzilla, and the name is now well known to Godzilla, but back then it was the true name is Gojira. So, and so yeah, there you go. Yeah. So what else? What else I had to really talk about? But overall, as I said, I like the realism. I like all the destruction, and also the cheesy effects and the charm. And this is just a frankly very great monster film. I mean, if you compare this to some monster films today, they're not as good as Godzilla. And this is really how a monster film should be done. And yeah, overall, I really like this film. And so yeah, guys, this is overall a very great American classic. It's a very great film. Check it out if you haven't checked it out, since the new remake of Godzilla is coming. Yeah, check out the original classic, because the original classic is a really great film. As I said, very great monster film in all ways, in my opinion. And if I would have gave this thing a rating, I would have gave it a 10 out of 10, because it's just such a very great film. But yeah, so if you haven't checked it out, check it out, and of course, leave comments on what you think of my very first review of movie review of a movie, and what you think about it. Did I do well or did I do bad, and stuff like that. And of course, subscribe to my channel. I mean, I always like the support and stuff, since I just now started my YouTube channel. And yeah, guys, so check out the original 1954 classic. It's a really great film, and check it out.